Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour with me, Sabena Izuku. The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Adamu Muazu, has resigned his position. Reasons given for his resignation, according to him, is based on health issues. Muazu has been out of the country on a medical trip. Although calls for his resignation had been gaining momentum since the dismal performance of the PDP in the general elections, prominent among those calling for his resignation are Ayodele Fayose, Ekiti State Governor, Babangida Aliyu, Governor of Niger State, Sule Lamido, the Governor of Jigawa State. Fayose is particularly of the opinion that not only did the PDP national chairman not do enough work for the President Goodluck Jonathan to win the presidential election, he also worked for Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressive Congress, winner of the election. On different occasions, Muazu had insisted that he would not resign, assuring the public that the PDP and its National Working Committee, NWC, were in harmony. Jonathan Camp had been suspicious of Muazu's commitment to the re-election of the president. Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uche Secondus, is now the party acting national chairman. This followed the resignation of the party chairman, Adamu Muazu, on what he says is health grounds. PDP spokesman for Olisametu confirmed the latest development to journalists at the Wadata Plaza Secretariat of the party. He maintained that the former Bauchi State Governor had been having health challenges before the party primaries, but had to stay in office to lead the party's election campaigns. State governors elected on the platform of the All Progressive Congress wants the leadership of the party to avoid pitfalls that brought the People's Democratic Party to its knees. The chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Rochas Okorocha, offered the piece of advice on Tuesday night at the valedictory session and honor 4 outgoing governors of the party. Pasamo has more.
Such an event.
This is the first formal meeting of the Progressive Governors Forum after the general elections. Now that APC has 22 states and is set to transform to the ruling party, the governors agree that it's time to work because of the huge expectations of Nigerians.
We also owe Nigerians a whole great deal to prove to them that the people that have elected are worthy to be so-called leaders of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me assure you on behalf of the Governors Forum of APC that this government cannot fail. We're indeed the last hope of democracy in Nigeria, and we must never fail.
Incumbents and governors-elect of the party were present at the meeting, and party leaders took out time to call on the governors to be mindful of the mistakes of the PDP, which led to its defeat at the polls. They maintained that Nigerians are wiser now, hence the need to be accountable and responsible to the people.
I enjoin all our incoming governors to become governors of example. No matter how many people speak on this podium, we'll just be repeating what our chairman has said. If they do so, Nigeria will be truly changed.
I want to appeal to everybody here and repeat that we have scored a signal victory. The way business is done from now on must be different in every sense of the word. We are going to face the challenge of reshaping this nation. We are going to face the challenge of reshaping the ethics and morality of our nation. The whole world was with us in the process of our struggle.
Representatives, I am so confident that APC will exceed the expectations of Nigeria. When we were looking for registration of APC, many Nigerians never gave us any chance, but we became registered and became a political party.
They also know that now that the elections are over, Many Nigerians are anxious for May 29 to come in order to see how the change they opted for will deliver better living standards. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Following the existing vacuum in the office of the Chief Judge of Rivers State as well as the President of the Customary Court of Appeal in Rivers State, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Aduke, has directed the Chief Justice of Bayelsa State to swear in the Governor-elect of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, on the 29th of May 2015. According to a press release signed by the Attorney General, the directive has become imperative in order to avert a likely constitutional crisis in Rivers State on the 29th of May, when the Governor-elect is expected to be sworn as the Governor of Rivers State. Aduke added that his directive is in accordance with Section 1852 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, which provides that the oath of allegiance and the oath of office shall be administered by the Chief Judge of the state or Grand Kadi of the Sharia Court of Appeal of the state, if any, or President of the Customary Court of Appeal of the state, if any, or the person for the time being respectively appointed to exercise the functions of any of those officers in any state. I urge the government and the people of Rivers State to take note of this development and appreciate the fact that the invitation extended to the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State to administer the oath of allegiance and the oath of office on the governors-elect of Rivers State on May 29, 2015 is in accordance with the Constitution and should therefore be respected by all and sundry. Activist lawyer Festus Keyamo says the Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Aduke, is legally correct to direct the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State to swear in Nyesom Wike as Rivers State Governor. The lawyer said in a statement that Section 185, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution empowers him to take such step. Keyamo, who is a member of the All Progressive Congress, quoted capriciously from the Constitution to justify why in the presence of Chief Judge of a particular state, a corresponding judicial officer in any state of the Federation can administer the oaths. He added it was inconceivable to think that the assumption of office of a public officer who has been declared winner of an election can be scuttled because of the absence of someone who is to perform what he insists is a purely ceremonial duty. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has ordered for an investigation into the membership status of Femi Fani-Kayode. Thus, according to the party leaders, is as a result of the press war, the claim he has been mounted against him. The National Secretary of the party, Wale Oladipo, disclosed the investigation plan in a statement issued in Abuja. He says if Fani-Kayode is found to be a PDP member, proper disciplinary action should be taken against him. We'll take a short break, and when we return, CoreTV News on the Hour continues. Just stay with us.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on our social media platform, and that's on facebook.com/CoreTV News, and on our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. For news updates and other programs, you can stream us live on youtube.com/CoreTV, live space, and the news. The Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, has ordered commissioners of police across the state to maintain watertight security around foreign missions. He issued the directive while receiving the Ambassador of the Republic of Ireland, Sean Hoy, at the force headquarters. Force Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Juku said that the IG assured the ambassador that foreign missions in Nigeria will continue to receive adequate security coverage. The ambassador, who was at the police headquarters on a working visit, used the occasion to congratulate the Inspector General of Police on his appointment and held discussion with the police leadership on areas of interest of his mission. The Inspector General of Police, Suman Asa, once again has promoted long overdue officers in Anambra State while on a recent visit to the state. The IGP also commended state governors Willie Obiano police partnership, which has helped curb crime rates in the state. The IGP commissioned the state-of-the-art communication and control room base for the joint operation team built by the Anambra State government. From inspecting the building, IGP held a familiarization meeting with his men and other security chiefs in the state who were on ground to welcome him. He commended their team spirit in fighting crime in the state and urged them to continue, assuring them of his continued support. The State Commissioner of Police highlighted their major challenges, but not without mentioning all the support they have received from the state government in terms of infrastructure and welfare. The officer also had the opportunity to air their complaints and the case of one Ebot Okon, who was demoted for an offense he had been punished for, drew the sympathy of the IGP, who instantly ordered his promotion and decoration. The IGP announced the promotion to the next rank of all the policemen that mounted sentry as he observed excellence in the performance. In his response, Governor Obiano says his priority was to get Anambra State to the level of being the safest state in the country, for that would not only bring peace and stability for meaningful development. In the early hours of the day, pandemonium broke out in Ado-Ekiti when a bloody fight between Rivers and Hausa community ensued. Several properties were destroyed, including a camera belonging to CoreTV News was damaged by a policeman. We'll bring you more of these details in our subsequent bulletin. The Nigerian Labour Congress on Wednesday laid siege to the NIPO's headquarters in Abuja over alleged violations of labour practice. The grievances, according to organised labour, include alleged wrongful remittance of dues meant for the Nigerian Union of Postal and Communications Employees to the Senior Staff Association of Communications, Transport and Cooperation, SSACTAC.
That he thinks can be able to defend his interests. And therefore, we are here today to sympathize with them because we believe in our slogan that injury to one is injury to all. And that is why we are here very peacefully. We are here very peacefully because we have communicated on four occasions. We have not had the privilege of these communications being acknowledged or even inviting us for dialogue, because we believe very much in dialogue. We don't have any issue with any other union, but with the management that actually issued that letter to cede those workers to another union. And that is why we are here, and we want to communicate this message to the Postmaster General, because he is supposed to be a father to all. He shouldn't, through any process of divide and rule.
What management did was just an advice which they acted upon from the Ministry of Labour and from the Industrial Court. And since the matter is in Industrial Court, we also, despite that fact, has never closed our doors. We ask them, go and settle now and come back, give us your will, and we implement it. That's what we told them.
State governors and meanwhile demand an explanation for Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on the dwindling excess crude account. The governors who rose from a unified meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum in Abuja are specifically interested in accruals between June 2013 and April 2015, and funds were dispersed.
In light of the fact that funds in the excess crude account were last disbursed in May 2013, there is need for the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to provide explanation for accruals to this account from June 2013 to April 2015, which is estimated at over $20 billion.
Minister of Finance Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has replied the NGF demand on excess crude accruals, saying Governor of Rivers State Rotimi Amechi received a total of 257.6 billion naira from the Federation account between January and October 2013. In a statement issued by Paul Nwambuiku, her spokesman in Abuja, Okonjo-Iweala claims the Governor Forum had no basis asking her to account for $20 billion from the excess crude account, ECA, because details of the ECA are published every month. She added that the ECA is discussed at every monthly session of the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee, FAC, where all the state commissioners of finance were usually present. She terms the statement by the governors as totally strange because Federal Accounts Allocation Committee, FAC, meets every month and the ECA is discussed at every session with all the state commissioners of finance present. Nothing is hidden. At this meeting, the Minister of State, who is the chairman of FAC, announces the balance in the ECA, which is then discussed. Minister directed governors who need further explanation on the account to consult their commissioners. Okonjo-Iweala added that Amechi, who read the communique of the governors early on Tuesday, made substantiated claims that 5 billion naira was missing in 2013. The statement added that in the interest of transparency and accountability, the Ministry of Finance would, in a couple of days, publish the details of the ECA for the last 4 years. A group of women are embarking on a trek from Kaduna State to Abuja to meet with President-elect Muhammadu Buhari. This is in spite of a recent appeal by the incoming president to his supporters to desist from trekking or hitching a ride to the nation's capital to see him. The leader said shortly after the takeoff that they decided on the long trek to show the president-elect that women are also in support of the incoming administration. Amina Nebi has more in this report and is presented from our studio. These are the women that decided to join the trend that Suleiman Hashimu started when he trekked from Lagos to Abuja. They are happy to set out for Anguwa Muazu for a chance to meet the president-elect. Not even the recent appeal by the incoming president could dissuade the group of female trekkers.
Going to Abuja by both Christian and Muslim will bring a positive change to the Muslim and Christians in Nigeria. The destructions we have for years, more than 10 years, between the people we have here is going to be a positive change. It's going to change by our unity from here to Abuja. Because we become one, we have become related, we enter into the bush, we go out and we make sure we protect each other from here to the time we have met our president.
The local chief was happy to see them and willingly gave his blessings for the long trek to Abuja.
We are talking of change, and the change has come. And women are equally playing their role to change. That's why they want to do what nobody has ever done. So we say kudos to them. So we are encouraged and proud, them coming from our own district. So it's a plus to us. I know their major aim is they don't want women to be left behind, and that's one of the things they are trying to do. So we want to give God first, keep them for us, and they should have.
The women plan to get to Abuja in 3 days and hopefully have a one-on-one session with the president-elect on the need for a sizable number of women in the incoming government. We'll take another break, and when we return this time, it will be time for Outside Nigeria. Just stay with us.
Every day of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. It's the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada?
Of course.
You will bring back the market women from the streets?
Excuse me, don't put words in my mouth.
On Core Digest, we bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge.
Welcome back. And outside Nigeria, Burundian police beat and fired tear gas at the protesters in the capital who were demanding the President Pierre Nkurunziza reverse a decision to run for a third term in office, with some protesters throwing rocks at the police ranks. Reports say at least 8 people have been arrested following the protests. The protests began earlier in the day with more than 100 protesters chanting slogans against the president in defiance of the government threats of a crackdown on the police. And the police also stopped the journalists from filming the protests. Meanwhile, South African President Jacob Zuma insists that presidential elections scheduled for next month should be postponed indefinitely until political stability returns to Burundi. He was speaking at a summit in Angola that was convened after last week's failed coup attempt. 3 alleged leaders of a failed coup in Burundi, who was arrested by government loyalists hours after President Pierre Nkurunziza returned to the capital Bujumbura last week, have been transferred to a prison in the country's Gitega region. Reports say former Defense Minister Gen Cyril Indayirukiye and Police Commissioner Zenon Indambaneze and Herman Nimeya were brought to a prison in Bujumbura after the arrest on 15th of May and following a failed coup d'etat on the 13th of May. And that's it on the news. So do join us on the primetime news at 7 and 9:45 p.m. For me and the news crew, we say many thanks. I am Savannah Osuki, and thank you very much indeed for watching.